saw the worst of Minnesota 3 weeks ago. And this group up here is committed to making sure that the world sees the best of Minnesota.
Minnesota's People of Color and Indigenous Caucus, known as the Posse Caucus, is taking the lead on police accountability and reform during the upcoming special session.
Now is the time to lead by example and to act and to advance actual change. No more stalling, no more waiting.
The group's proposals include reforms to the use of force statute, the Police Oversight Board, and prosecution of police-involved cases. It also calls for bans on warrior-style training and chokeholds, but expands training for de-escalation and mental health crisis intervention.
It's not enough to tell people what not to do. It's important, particularly for our public servants, to express powerfully what it is that we expect of them.
Other proposals, like using social workers in tandem with officers on crisis calls and expanding voting rights for felons who have served their time, have already come under fire from Republicans. But some say there is room for compromise.
It may not happen as fast as people want, but I think that this is a tipping point for a lot of people to realize that Minnesotans deserve better, and we absolutely have the capabilities to do better.
It's not about liberal versus conservatives. It's not about black versus white. It's right and wrong.
There's certain things that transcend politics. I believe that the Republicans in the Senate care deeply that we get this right.
Now, you heard the governor there mention Republicans in the Senate. They are very key to all of this, of course, because they have a majority. Anything that goes through has to go through them. Now, they didn't weigh in too much today, but they do plan to address and lay out their own priorities tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Kent.